Hey, Emily and Jeff here from For All Seasons. We thought we would do a playthrough as well as walk you through our parts for our song No Other. First, you're going to see the playthrough, which is going to feature 3 different guitars and 3 different parts, as well as the chords in the bottom of the screen, so you're welcome to play along with us. But then after that, we're going to walk you through our individual parts and kind of explain what it is that we're playing. If you want to skip ahead to those parts as well as what effects we're using, you can go to the description down below and click ahead. But we hope that this is useful to you guys, and here we go.
Open wide, blinded eyes, giants fall, dead men rise, sickness healed at the mention of you. Sinners chains breaking free, miracles still happening, waters part, I see mountains move. No other name carries the power to save, crushes the power of the grave, but Jesus.
Hey guys, hope that playthrough was helpful for you. Jeff and I are going to go ahead and walk you through our specific parts that we play in this song. For me, I have a hall reverb that is set for the whole song with the mix pretty low. But then on the choruses and the bridge, I really dig in to kind of let the overdrive take over. When we are thinking about this song, we like to split the verses into 1, 2, 3, and 4. So verse 1 and 2 would be what happens before chorus 1, and then verse 3 and 4 would be what happens between chorus 1 and chorus 2. So for me, I don't come in until verse 2, and it's with a really simple picking part that has the B string and the high E on the 7th fret, and then the G string on the 9th fret, and it's a really simple pattern. It goes just like this. And that repeats. And then for chorus 1, I'm out. But then when verse 2 comes in is when we switch to chords. And for this song, especially in the verse, we use some specific shapes instead of just your normal E shapes. And so I want to walk you guys through those. When verse 3 starts, I'm on the C sharp minor, and the shape that we're using is the D string on the 2nd fret, and then the A string and the G string on the 4th fret. And so you also want to make sure that you're muting the top string when you play this, or just skipping it altogether. But when verse 3 starts, it's just open note, and you kind of let that go. And then one more time. And then in between verse 3 and verse 4, you kind of go back to that original shape that we played for the picking part in verse 2, but the part instead has a different pattern. It starts on the G string. It's just that simple part. It happens 2 times. And then you're going to go back to your shape. So go to that original C sharp minor that we played at the beginning of verse 3. And then you're going to go to the 7 chord. And so if you go up to the 6th fret, you mute your top string, and then the A string on the 6th fret. And then for me, I'm really just kind of hitting these top couple strings. And so I want to make sure that on the 9th fret, I've got the D string down, but I'm just making sure that I'm hitting those top strings for the 7 chord. And then we go to a 3 chord. That this shape is interesting too. So you want to make sure on your top E string that you're hitting the 4th fret. That's where your G sharp comes in. And then you want to mute the 2nd string. And then on your 2nd fret, you've got the D string down. And then on the 4th fret, you're holding down the G string. So starting from the beginning of verse 4, just to kind of recap, we've got and then you want to go to an A, which is really just taking off that top finger on the top string, back to the C sharp, to a B, to an A. So if it kind of helps, I'll play through that whole verse 4 progression to help put it all in order. So it goes, I'll sing it too, if I can remember the words. Here we go. All my chains breaking free, miracles still happening, nothing is impossible with you. So that gets you through all the verses, and then you're going to go to the chorus. So for all of these choruses, it's really important that we're hitting the rhythm. And so it's very simple open part, and it kind of progresses as it goes. So as we get to chorus 2, you're just going to hit those 3 big hits. So, and then you bring in the 2. Goes to the B, to the A, and you get halfway through chorus 2, you add this 4th hit in, so then it will go. And really from that point on, all your big choruses are going to have all 4 of those hits. After we get through chorus 2 is when we go to the bridge. The bridge progression here is C sharp minor to A to E to B, except for one variation, which I'll show you. But what's important here is to really for lesser words, feel the groove. So when the bridge comes in, I can see strongholds coming down, kind of carries it along, and you kind of feel like a dragging that's happening. So when it gets through that full progression, it doesn't go back to the 5, but when you go through the second half of the bridge where it repeats that whole lyric, it goes. And instead of going to the B here, we're going to go to the G sharp minor. And then back through C sharp to A. Then once you hit that E chord, you're going to go back into the chorus pattern. And that's what brings you to the down chorus that we have at the very end of the song, where you switch up your pattern just a little bit to kind of give it this high energy, almost bouncy kind of feel. That just has 3 hits that goes like this. And then that's when your big last final chorus opens up and you go back to those hits that you were doing at the end of chorus 2. That'll take you through that last chorus, and then the only important thing to note is in that outro section, you're essentially doing half of the chorus. So we have, but Jesus. You right through the end. Hopefully all of this made sense. Feel free to go back and watch through more intently if there's any parts that you're needing to see. But from here, Jeff is going to take you through all of his lead parts that happen throughout this song. So we'll pass it off to Jeff.
All right, guys, so the first part that I'm playing in the song is in the intro, and it's a palm muted part. As far as effects goes, I'm using a spring reverb from the Strymon Big Sky and a tape delay that's set to the tempo of 115. It's a quarter note delay. So this part is pretty close to tremolo picking. The key to it is not to try to pick a certain pattern, but to try to play as straight as you can. So it's here on the 2nd fret on the D string, palm muted on the side, and then just quickly pick up and down. And you kind of hold it through verse 1, and then it takes a break during that tiny interlude before verse 2, and then also takes a break right before it goes into chorus 1. The next part that I have is in verses 3 and 4 after the first chorus. And it's just an 8th note pattern that starts here on the 12th fret on the B string, and it just kind of flows down. I'll play it a little bit slower, but it's the same effects that I used for the intro part, so spring reverb and tape delay. I switch to the bridge position and start bringing in the thicker effects that I used for the chorus. So I'll try that again from here that's just using the bottom 3 strings. It's this E, starts with this E shape right here. And then add the 7th fret on the B string. Slide up to the 9th fret for the G and the B string. Keep that open E. And then slide to the 12th for the pinky. And then from there, to my first chorus part, there's actually 2 tremolo guitars that are going through, so I'll show you both. But I throw my boost pedal on to kind of thicken it up. And then as far as effects go, I'm using a cloud reverb that's really thick. The mix is set really high. And also a dual delay so that the left and right channels are just kind of evolving and taking shape. So this is the first chorus part that I play, and it's on the 16th fret on the high E string, and you're just tremolo picking. So it goes from here to a bend to the 14th fret to the 12th, so it looks like this. And then just repeats. And for the part that I play in between, the kind of hammer-on part, I throw on I have the Walrus Luminary, but it's just an octave higher that I add to it. It's a hammer-on from the 11th fret to the 13th fret on the G string, and then hits the 12th fret pretty quickly on the B string. So it looks like this. And then I go back to the tremolo picking, so it looks like this when it's a little bit quicker. And then the second tremolo part that's happening through all the choruses and the outro starts on the 12th fret, and there's just a little bit more movement that's happening. And you hang, repeat it again. This time go higher and hang on to it. And then for the bridge part, my guitar moves to the 12th fret on the B string and gets a little more straight, so it's 8th notes. I changed the delay so that it just isn't as messy. So I just move it back to that tape delay. And it's just pretty straight. Instrumental moment before the down chorus, so it's back to, and I throw the Walrus Luminary on there as well, and it slides up, kind of bend it and then let go. The other tremolo part that's happening in the bridge starts on the G string on the 13th fret, and there's a little less movement to it. And then I kind of mirror the other part, but a little bit higher. And then back to the tremolo. part on the 16th fret on the E string. And that's the instrumental part before the down chorus. The only other significant part left in the song is the outro. So it moves from the octave hook that's in all the choruses and then to end the song moves to the 4th fret on the B string and does a bend. So you're kind of hitting the strings and then sliding afterward. So the bend happens here. And then just let it ring out while the other big chords are taking place. Those are all the parts I played. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you found that helpful. We got a lot more videos coming your way, so make sure you click the leaf in the corner of the screen to subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions about the parts or anything else, make sure you leave a comment below. And if you guys decide to play it in church or anything, make sure you let us know. We'd love to hear about it. See you next time.